Story 1. My mom 62F has never let me 30F call her mom. My mom 62F has never let me 30F call her mom. When I was little, like many kids, I used to call her mommy. But she would correct me every time I said mom, and I never really understood why. As I grew older and became a preteen, I started feeling really embarrassed being the only kid my age still calling their mom mommy. That's when I pushed back hard against it. I wanted to call her mom, like everyone else, but she never let me. The only explanation she ever gave me for this was that being called mom made her feel old. She still won't let me call her mom, even as an adult. If I ever refer to her as mom or mother, she'd ignore me or say, "That's not my name." She refused to be called by her first name, too, and would get angry, calling me disrespectful if I tried. She gave me a few alternatives, like calling her mommy or a childish nickname I'm not going to share because it's too identifying, or simply not using any name for her at all. I eventually just settled on the last option. Now, I'm 30, with my own child, and she still refuses to be called mom or by her name. Since I was 11, I've only referred to her as "Hey you." My child calls her by a non-traditional, cutesy nickname meaning grandma, but it still stings. It makes me sad. I'm aware there are a lot of reasons why my mom and I don't have a very strong connection, but I can't help but feel that this is a huge part of it. It always made me feel like she wanted to be a mom to a little kid, not to a grown adult. I've been doing a lot of self-work lately, and I want to stop avoiding conflict and address this lingering pain with her. So, I guess what I'm asking is, how do I bring this up with her? Is it even worth it? If it's not, how do I move past it? I'm really struggling with this. Comment 1. It feels like it's less his ND and more his poor management of it that's frustrating you. He's in his own home, where presumably he's able to control the environment well, but he didn't change his shirt or look for his headphones until you needed something. And you're not wrong in wanting a partner who is able to at least say, "Hold on, let me change my shirt so I can be there for you." Comment 2. Please don't take this as me blaming you. This part stuck with me a bit. When I realized what was happening, I steeled up. I pushed my emotions down, and I helped my partner find his noise-canceling headphones and a warmer, softer shirt. I'm not excusing his behavior, but I do want to empower you. Perhaps constantly pushing your needs aside to put his first is contributing to his belief that your needs do come second. His autism/sensory issues don't trump your need for emotional support. Maybe he's been allowed to operate that way for too long. Maybe he's not capable of operating any other way. You have to be willing to expect better. Comment 3. It's okay to accept that you aren't compatible. It's okay to say that you want an empathetic partner who can support you rather than you constantly having to support him and put his issues first. Is he in therapy or on any medication? Comment 4. When you're around your kid, call her grandma. Comment 5. She's 62. Stop hoping she'll change. The bummer thing about parents is some aren't great. Sometimes that have weird hang-ups that negatively impact their kids even if they hope to do their best. As an adult, your best bet is to cope with the disappointment your mom isn't who you would have wished and figure out how to either move on or embrace the human she is. Comment 6. One of my grandmothers was like this. I always had to call her Maman, mom, instead of grandmaman, grandmother. I think this should be a diagnostic criteria for narcissism. If she responds to "hey you," can she not respond to you calling her first name? Story 2. 39F married high school sweetheart, 40M. Is my marriage finally over? For some context, I married my high school sweetheart. We've been together nearly 23 years and married for 16.5 years. We have 2 kids, a 10-year-old daughter and an 8-year-old son. For the most part, our marriage has been stable. We rarely fought, owned our home, had good jobs, and it seemed like the good life. Everything changed last January. One night, my husband got upset, and I told him not to take his frustration out on the kids. He ended up leaving and staying the night at his parents' house, which was the first time that's ever happened. Ever since that night, things have been rocky. A part of me thinks it's a midlife crisis, but deep down, I think the marriage might be over. My husband finally told me that he's tired of bending over backwards for me, of working like a mule and feeling like it's for nothing. He wants to focus more on himself and do things for his own happiness. Part of me gets this because, like many parents, we've been so focused on our kids. He also insisted on buying a motorcycle, and even though I didn't have much say in the matter, I let it happen. I know he finds joy in it, though. Last summer, we didn't do anything as a family. We were always running to the kids' games and activities, but we didn't have a single family outing or even a date night. I'd ask, but he'd never be interested. One of the biggest blows came when we had a family vacation planned, a trip we booked 2 years ago. The night before we were supposed to leave, he decided he wasn't going. So, I ended up taking the kids out of the country by myself. After he left that night, I started therapy as soon as I could, finally getting in for my first session in September. He refuses to go, saying he's not going to sit there and listen to someone try to tell him how to change when he doesn't want to change who he is. I want to fix this. I've tried to compromise and change. I'm not perfect, and I can be difficult to be around at times. I'll admit I was controlling, especially with how we spend our time as a family. But I never told him he couldn't do something. I didn't know things were so wrong because he never said anything. He's never been good at communicating, so I had no idea how he was feeling until recently. We had a tough conversation this morning, one of several over the past couple of months, where he finally expressed his true feelings. But it's not what I wanted to hear. He told me I annoy him, that I give him the ick. I asked if he still loved me, and he said he doesn't even know what love means anymore. He resents me for things in the past, and he doesn't know if he can ever move past it. He's even upset about how much we've spent on vacations, though he never once said no to any of it. When I brought this up, he admitted it was just easier to go along with it than to say no. I finally got him to admit he's dealing with anxiety, and I suspect some depression too, though he denies it. Some days are good, and our sex life hasn't suffered, but I'm still stuck wondering why I'm holding on to this marriage. I'm scared to admit it's over and to start moving on, but I'm so tired of being unhappy. My kids are starting to notice, and I hate that they're seeing all of this. I'm not sure what to do anymore. How do I let go of something that's been my whole life, even though it's clear it's not working anymore? Comment 1. If your partner refuses to do any work needed to change for the better, for himself, for you, for your children, then yes, it's over. You cannot fix a sinking ship by ignoring the water that's up to your neck. Comment 2. It sounds over. He is checked out. I hope you have a job/education. Get a lawyer and get your finances in order. Be prepared for the worst. Comment 3. It was just easier to go along with it than to tell you no. What did it look like when he told you no to your requests? Story 3. Husband is difficult about taking pictures of me. I, 30F, have been married to my husband, 33M, for 4 years, and we have a child together. One thing that's been a constant issue in our relationship is that my husband flat out refuses to take pictures of me. I want to start by saying that I'm not a vain or self-absorbed person. I don't have a social media obsession. I rarely post on Facebook or Instagram, and I hardly ever take selfies. Before we had our baby, my husband would get annoyed and refuse to take pictures of me if I asked. If he did take one, it was like pulling teeth to get him to do it, and then I had to just be happy with whatever shot he took, good or bad. He would act irritated if I asked him to take another, as if I were bothering him. Now that we have a baby, I've brought up that, as a mom, I don't have many photos with our child because I'm usually the one behind the camera. I take tons of pictures and videos of daily moments with our baby, and I also take plenty of pictures of my husband with the baby. But when I ask him for a picture of the three of us, he either flat out refuses or takes one when I'm not ready, usually when I'm not even paying attention after he's already said no. This results in unflattering pictures that aren't what I had in mind. Even when he does take a picture, he won't show it to me or send it to me. It's like pulling teeth just to get a photo, and when I do, it's either a bad one or nothing at all. I'm getting really frustrated that I can't even ask for a picture with my own child. I don't understand why this is such an issue, and I'm not sure how to approach it differently. Comment 1. Prop up your phone to capture yourself and baby. Record a video of you guys playing or dancing or reading a book or whatever you want. Then you can go back and get still shots. Plus, you'll have cute videos of you doing things with your sweet baby. My husband worked long hours when ours were little, and I didn't want to miss out on the little things. Some of the videos I got are cherished. I even did this with my grandma when she was bopping around her kitchen with me and my three littlest ones. You don't have to wait for him to go facilitate it. Get a small tripod if you want, or just prop up with a stand or book or whatever. He's kinda a jerk for refusing when he could take 30 seconds to snap a couple pics for you. But at least this way you'll get some candids of you and baby despite him being a jerk about it. Comment 2. Have you ever asked him why he perceives such a simple request as a terrible chore? Call me crazy, but shouldn't he want a camera roll full of his family, which, checks notes, includes you? Comment 3. You have 2 children, so sorry to inform you. Comment 4. This sounds like he's passive-aggressively trying to communicate something to you by making a simple request as painful as possible. I would confront this head-on and ask him why this is something he so clearly doesn't want to do, given that A, it's harmless, and B, it means a lot to you. If you made it to the end of the video, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share, and we will see you in the next video.